alone. It's me, Clinton, and this is the Where's My Mind podcast. It's been a while since we last spoke um, on YouTube, but on like the regular podcast, I've had like episodes be only audio episodes, so that's fun. And video episodes are back up. Um, it's so exciting. I don't know what to say. I'm excited to film every week and like post this every week. Um, I have not been on here because I was on my podcast, but I know if you're on YouTube and you just saw the podcast for the first month of 2025 or like the first 2 months of 2025, and then suddenly it stopped showing up on your explore page or your for you page. This is the reason why I had my dissertation and I had to turn that in. I started my dissertation really late because I had like problems months before, and because of those problems, I thought I could not do my dissertation, but I could. But I don't know. I think my communication skills are really poor. I know if you listen to this podcast, you think my communication skills are really good. I don't have the best communication skills, so I don't know. I started my dissertation really late, and I was done with my dissertation like a week before. No, sorry, like 3 days before it was due, and then I formatted it the morning of the submission day. So yeah, and that's just a little story about my dissertation. There's gonna be a full podcast about my dissertation when I get the results because I don't want to like talk about the dissertation when I don't know what I got yet. Um, Also, I will provide my whole dissertation for myself just to document it because I'm someone who tends to forget stuff when I'm done with it. So for my dissertation, I want to be able to read it out to you or put it on the Where's My website if I make a decision on like the website stuff because I was deciding on I decided 2 weeks. Like, I've been thinking of getting a website for a week now, and I think I might get a website at the end of the day. I don't know yet, but there's a very high chance I might get a website at the end of the year, summertime. I don't know because I'm like, if have a website, then I actually have to start captioning or like describing these podcast episodes. And I'm like, oh no, more work for me. But we'll see. We'll see. And it'll be really good with the search engine optimization. Yeah. Okay. I want to be a designer. Every year I do episodes like this. The first year of the podcast, it's just called I Want to Be a Model. The second year was called I Want to Be a Stylist. And this year, I want to be a designer. For becoming a model, I wanted to become a model when I was like 18, 19. And 20, I got scammed for like a company. Not but no, not, not they never scammed me. They never got a lot of money from me. They got £100 from me. For the stylist, I chose to start styling myself, and by styling myself, I could like people could like see what how I style and maybe like pick me to style them in the future. And for designing, I really want to take it as like a big project. As like I want to take it as something that I will do for a majority of my life. I thought of starting a brand at the age of 30 or a brand at the age of 40. And if I live long enough, then run that brand from 40 till um 70 or like 80 or 90. The reason why I want to start a brand at that age and not in my 20s is because I feel in my 20s I still have a lot to like experience and a lot to like put into segments and a lot to like put into to understand more in like the fashion space. Before, like if you see the way I dress on a podcast, I for the podcast I have like a set color, and when I started thinking of becoming a designer months ago, this was in January or maybe December, I thought, oh, my brand is gonna be like the Where's My Main brand because it's only gonna have set colors. And the more I think of it, the more I think, oh, my brand, the words of my brand is like uh it's like me capturing my life at every single stage, but with the designer brand that I want to start in the future, or my with the brand I will start in the future, I want it to be consumer based, but my creativity on what I think consumers will enjoy in the coming years, because I have successfully predicted two like fashion styles. My involvement in like the fashion industry, like I'm not saying I work in the fashion industry because I don't work, but like I consume a lot of like fashion media now. I know when certain fashion weeks happen. I know like certain things. I still don't know a lot. I still don't know how people get invited to shows. I still don't know like what makes you one of those people who sits front row. I always used to think when I was a kid, I was like, oh, these people are like quite literally jobless. Like, why are they sitting there? I was reminiscing on like the very first time I showed interest in fashion as a kid, and I remember this was in my grandma's house, and she was like in her house. There's this like local station that shows only fashion shows, and as a kid, I would either watch a fashion show or watch National Geographics, and I thought I was gonna be a vet. I'm not an animal person anymore, but yeah, that was like the main thing for like the fashion, my fashion, like I think that channel started my like appreciation of fashion, because I started noticing what my cousins were wearing, or what my auntie was wearing, or what I was putting on my body. And whenever I saw like, and I think in like that channel like introduced me to like ridiculously ridiculously good brands like Reika Kubo, and I saw like the outfits there, and I was like, oh, like this is so, in my childish brain, I was like, this is so ugly, because I don't see anybody wearing this outside of their house. Or like a Rick Owens show as a kid, and I saw it. I don't know if it's Rick Owens. I can't remember the brands I saw, but like brands that like did really daring things, and I was like, these outfits are so ugly. Like they should like wear shirts and pants and like leave the house, or like for women wear like a dress. And like the ones I truly enjoyed was like wear like the simple ones, and like the ones that had that never made me think afterwards. And I think that's what ultimately, that's what my, if I become a designer, my brand would like lean towards, like something that is very simple. I don't want it to be, it's not going to be basic because I'm not basic, but it's going to be very simple. And yeah, so walking down the streets now, I like, before I told, like I've said this on the podcast before, if you're new here, I walk down the street and like judge people's outfits, or I make it harder for myself and walk down the streets and take a bunch of people's outfits and like style different people, or like mix people's outfits to like make it look better in my head. And now, like walking down the streets, I'm like looking at what people, I know it's like very central to like where I live right now, but like I'm looking at what people are actually consuming and like what everyday people are wearing. And for inspo, I'm not looking at what people on the internet are like dubbing as like inspo anymore. I'm like going outside and like seeing what people are putting together, and even if what they put together is not like 100%, or it's not solid, or it doesn't have like the sauce, because some people's outfits look good. I'm never gonna say someone's outfit doesn't look good, but it lacks the je ne sais quoi. It lacks the sauce that I think most outfits that we see on like extremely styled outfits have. And I think that's what I want like my customers to have at the end of the day when they shop at the name of the brand. I have the name of the brand in my head. I'm not gonna say the name out because I heard there was a person who was gonna start a brand, and this was a TikTok. There was a person who was gonna start a brand, and the person said the name said the name of the brand, and someone stole the name of the person's brand and went to copyright it. I'm not gonna copyright the name yet. Um, but I'm gonna use that name. I just feel the name is like very close to home, and hopefully nobody has like copyrighted the name. Um, yeah, I think come 2042, um, I'll have a brand. Hopefully, maybe I'll do it when I'm 30. If I have enough money when I'm 30, I'll do it. But if I don't, then I'll wait till I'm 40. I don't know if I said this on like the podcast episode or if I said this on like a TikTok, but I would never want to start a brand for less than three, like, and sell stuff that are like cheap labor or like stuff that are made in like, no, I don't care. Like before, like when I recorded that episode, I said China, the US, the UK. Um, And the reason why I said China was because every single person says, "Oh, whatever is made in China is like cheap labor." Like number one, the country is growing, China is growing. So and like right now, like there's a scandal with like fashion brands, certain fashion brands like shopping or like making their products in China, and people are paying big bucks for the product, but they're just like doing assembling the products or like putting like the final touches in like where in the like countries in Europe like Paris and France Paris and France is crazy. Paris and Italy, and they're selling it for big bucks. But if it's coming from China, they're making it like they're selling for lesser money. But I'm like, these people are like working a lot. They have been doing this for years. They have the experience. So I don't know why y'all are like saying they don't have like they're not good enough. In my opinion, if I can work in a Chinese company, if I can work with a Chinese company, I don't want to work with only one company. I want to work with like Indian artisans and like African artisans and like Caribbean and American and white and black. And I want it because I think ultimately when the brand comes out, hopefully, fingers crossed, I want it to be like a curation of every single thing I've like how I've viewed fashion so far in my life. And I think if I were to start today, I will start with socks. Honestly, like if I were to start today, I will start with a pair of socks because I don't think, and I'm not bashing anyone who does this, like people who start a brand with like the shirts and their logos. I don't think that's a brand. I think that's merch with a mediocre name or a very cool name or a mid name or yeah, it's like I knew someone and the person said they were starting a brand. The person said they were starting a Christian brand, and what the only thing they did was take a blank shirt and paste a logo and a Bible quote. And I was like, that doesn't. Okay, maybe for Christians that that has a point of view. I don't even think that had a point of view. I think the people who might have supported the person were people who already knew the person, and I don't want like this brand. Let's call it Where's My Mind. I don't want Where's My Mind, the fashion brand, to be viewed by only people. I want the first ad that I have in my head. I think I'll tell you the story of the first ad. But I want the first ad to look or draw people in. Does that make sense? I want the first ad to make sure to like make people notice the brand because obviously I'm not saying like the first ad would like do huge numbers, but hopefully it will. And like the first ad is drawing on something I feel every most people have experienced, and it's a mother's love, and that's basically what the first ad is gonna be. And I'm going to tell my story on here as well, but I'm also I'm going to tell my story on here as well, but I'm going to make my story come to life through the brand for like the first 5 years, and then afterwards, then make other people's story come to life, because I don't want to be selfish. I want to spread like stories, and I think through the clothes, the stories will like speak. Hopefully, yeah. I think I think I know what I want to do. I think I have a good enough. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I really know what I have to do, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to start making not making a mood board, but I'm gonna like a private Pinterest and like start putting things I think I enjoying right now, and things I see people wear. Like I saw a lady wearing these green. Like when I say green, it was so green coat, and I was like, I would never wear that. If I was gonna wear a green coat, it has to be super dark green and close to black. And I wore blue coats today, and it's like a super dark blue, navy blue, closer to black than blue, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I don't think I would think of it from my point of view alone. I think I would think of it from like the brands, like from like the customer's point of view, or like what I think other people might enjoy. And before I used to say I would never add like new colors, but I think as the collections come, like different colors will be displayed on the brand. So yeah, I want to be a stylist. I want to be a model, and now I want to be a fashion designer. I think most people who are like interested in fashion have had that thought in their head once or twice, and some people would start so early in life. I don't Number one, I don't have the funds, and number two, I don't have everything secured yet, so I can't start a brand yet. And I was never, even if I had everything secured already, I would not start a brand this early. I like learning from experience, but I don't want it to be like a failed venture. I want it to be something that sticks for a while, even sticks after I come to my end. Um, okay. I almost left my body just now. I, I don't think you understand what happened. I don't think you understand what happened. I almost left my body just now. But yeah, I think that's us for today. I want to be a model. Let me check what. I don't think I read any books this week. I swear. Like the past week, I've not read any books. I've been only watching TikToks. And I have been thinking to myself, oh, since I watch a lot of TikToks, I should try and remember a TikTok I saw over the weeks. And I think that will improve my memory, because I just like watch TikToks, like watch stuff on the internet like a zombie. And even if it's really mediocre and like really like not interesting in any way, I want to be able to like I want to tell people what I've seen over the past week. And I think I might that might be like an ended segment on the podcast as well. So I think I'll start from like today. So it's Coachella in California. Lisa and Jenny are on like they're performing for in Coachella, and I saw a lot of like Lisa and Jenny Coachella performance through TikTok and a lot of edits of Lisa and Jenny, mostly this week. That's what I mostly saw this week on my TikTok page. And last week I spoke about them. I swear I'm not trying to use your name to like gain anything. I just truly enjoy their music right now. And I would have never, like, if you met me 2 years ago, I'd have never listened to people like that. I forgot a very big, I forgot a very big aspect of my whole outfit. Okay, I can get it, but I forgot a very big aspect of my whole outfit. Am I gonna re-record this? No, because everybody's like existing now. Okay, true. Okay, I'll tell you my book I read for the week. I swear to God, I don't think I read any books this week. Like this week. Um, I'll try and look for a book. I don't know if I said this last week, but Aren't We Lucky by Sarah Fobbs Stewart. I don't know if I said this last week. I'm pretty sure I did, but it's a book about friendship and a girl kills her friend. Yeah, I spoiled the book. If you were you actually gonna read the book? Um, it's on Audible, by the way. So yeah, I'll speak to you next week. Bye.